Now let me give you a little bit on this. The FCC chairman has a new assistant. It's such a small world. Former PR person or spokesperson of Free Press. Isn't that a coincidence? What a wild coincidence. Oh, by the way, an FCC also has a diversity czar. His name is Mark Lloyd. He says the fairness doctrine doesn't go far enough. He also talks about the important Venezuelan democratic revolution. I could go on and on and on, but do you see what's happening? Now, how do we fix it? I have news for you. I want to tell you real quick. I want you to hear the words, because every time, I think people know this guy, and nobody seems to. He is the administrator of the White House Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs. It's a man I talk about all the time, and every time I talk to audiences, they have no idea who this man really is. You do, I bet. Cass Sunstein. Oh, I love you. Almost all gun control legislation is constitutionally fine. The Second Amendment seems to specify its own purpose. By the way, these are all different statements, different times. The Second Amendment seems to specify its own purpose, which is to protect a regulated militia. Do you know why do you know why Ben Franklin went door to door and said, grab your gun? You got a gun? Come on, Tom, go out in the, come on, we're going to march up and down the street. You know why that happened? Because the government wasn't doing their job. Let's talk a minute about a well-regulated militia and why you might need one because the government isn't doing their job. Let's meet people in Texas, Arizona, and California. In a speech at Harvard University, he said, we ought to ban hunting. In a book, Current Debates and New Directions, he said, we should grant animals the right to bring a suit. He's close. I'd like to make a few animals into a suit. He says, I have argued in favor of a reformulation of the First Amendment. The overriding goal of the reformulation is to reinvigorate process of democratic deliberation by ensuring greater attention to public issues and a greater diversity of views. Do I need to show you the squirrel playing the piano with a pencil in his teeth? In light of an astonishing economic and technological changes, we must doubt whether, as interpreted, the constitutional guarantee of free speech is adequately serving democratic goals. The system of limitless individual choices, listen to this, a system of limitless individual choices with respect to communications isn't necessarily in the interest of citizenship and self-government. In taxes, he says, in what sense is the money in our pockets fully yours? Better not say that on my land. He says, much of the time the United States seems to have embraced a confused and pernicious form of individualism. This is the most dangerous man in America because he controls the information. He also controls the regulatory system. He wrote a book called Nudge. Don't nudge me, because after I don't move, you push me, then you shove me. And then what happens? Oh, I know, I remember, because I heard this from our new manufacturing czar, Ron Bloom. What was it? Oh yeah, we all pretty much agree with Mao that power comes from the barrel of a gun. Yes, it does. Why do you think they want to take yours away? Listen, you stand up You get your friends to stand up. You teach your children to stand up. You go to your PTA meetings, and when somebody says something stupid, you go to your softball games, and when your kids win a trophy for just showing up, you take that trophy and you say, our family doesn't accept stuff we didn't earn. This is a loser trophy. It makes us a loser by going, look at Johnny, look at you tried. Damn right you tried. You also sucked a few innings. Now get in there and win next time. What are we teaching our kids? You teach your kids right now to stand up. You teach your kids about history. And when their teacher says, oh, and you know that whole George Washington thing, he was a reefer madness guy, you tell them, stand up.